If you love your cat, never do this again, because there are so many things that cat owners do every single day thinking they're harmless or even helpful, but they're actually hurting their cat's feelings and damaging the relationship. By the end of this video, you're going to realize some behaviors you need to stop immediately if you want your cat to truly trust and love you. And if you want to keep learning how to be the best cat owner possible, hit that subscribe button because we're always sharing tips that will transform your relationship with your cat. Let's talk about what you need to stop doing right now. The first thing you need to stop doing immediately is picking up your cat whenever you want without asking permission. I know your cat is adorable and you just want to scoop them up for cuddles, but from your cat's perspective, being suddenly grabbed and lifted off the ground is actually pretty scary and takes away all their control. Cats are both predators and prey animals, and being picked up triggers their prey instincts because that's what happens when a larger predator catches them. When you pick up your cat without warning or without them showing they want to be held, you're creating stress and anxiety even if your cat tolerates it. Many cats will freeze or go limp when picked up, not because they're relaxed, but because they're essentially playing dead or waiting for the scary experience to be over. This isn't the loving interaction you think it is. What you should do instead is let your cat come to you for affection. If you want to hold your cat, invite them up onto your lap and let them choose whether to accept. If your cat doesn't want to be held, respect that boundary. Some cats genuinely enjoy being held, but they should be the ones initiating or clearly consenting to it, not just tolerating forced pickups because they have no choice. Stop moving your cat's food and water bowls around constantly or placing them in inconvenient locations. Cats are creatures of habit who rely on knowing where their resources are located. When you keep moving their food and water bowls, reorganize their feeding station, or place bowls in high-traffic areas where they don't feel comfortable eating, you're creating unnecessary stress and anxiety around mealtime. Your cat needs to know they can reliably access food and water in quiet, safe locations. When these locations keep changing, your cat experiences low-level stress about whether their needs will be met. This might seem like a small thing to you, but to your cat, knowing where food is located is a fundamental security need. Also, stop placing food and water bowls right next to each other or next to the litter box. In nature, cats don't drink water near their prey or near their bathroom areas because those water sources could be contaminated. Your domestic cat still has these instincts, so placing water near food or near the litter box can actually make them drink less, leading to dehydration issues. Never pull your cat out of their hiding spots when they're trying to get away from something stressful. When your cat hides under the bed, in a closet, or in their cat cave, they're telling you they need space and time to feel safe. Pulling them out of these hiding spots, even if you think you're helping or want to comfort them, is violating their safe space and making them feel even less secure. Cats need to feel they have control over when they engage with the world and when they retreat to safety. When you don't respect their hiding spots as truly safe zones, your cat loses trust that they have anywhere they can go to feel completely secure. This creates chronic anxiety because your cat never feels they have reliable escape options. If your cat is hiding, let them be. They'll come out when they feel ready. You can sit nearby quietly if you want to provide comfort, but forcing them out of hiding just teaches them that even their safe spaces aren't actually safe from you. This damages your relationship and increases their stress levels significantly. Stop using spray bottles or other aversive techniques to correct your cat's behavior. This is such a common mistake that so many cat owners make. When you spray your cat with water, make loud noises to scare them, or use other punishment methods, you're not teaching your cat what you think you're teaching them. You're just creating fear and negative associations with your presence. Cats don't learn from punishment the way dogs sometimes do. When you spray your cat for jumping on the counter, they don't learn counters are off limits. They learn when the human is around, bad things happen. This is why cats often continue the behavior when you're not home. They're not being sneaky or spiteful. They just don't understand what you're trying to teach them. These aversive techniques also damage your relationship because your cat starts associating you with unpleasant experiences. Over time, this erodes trust and can make your cat anxious or fearful around you. If you want to change your cat's behavior, use environmental management and positive reinforcement instead of punishment. Never interrupt your cat's grooming sessions unless absolutely necessary. Grooming is incredibly important to cats. It's not just about cleanliness, it's also how they regulate stress, mark themselves with their own scent, and maintain emotional balance. When you constantly interrupt your cat's grooming by petting them, picking them up, or trying to play, you're disrupting an important self-care behavior. Your cat needs uninterrupted time to groom themselves thoroughly. This is when they process stress, calm themselves down, and maintain their coat and skin health. When you don't let them complete their grooming sessions, you're preventing them from engaging in essential self-maintenance behaviors that directly impact their emotional well-being. Obviously, if your cat is over-grooming to the point of creating bald spots or skin irritation, that's different and requires veterinary attention. But normal, regular grooming sessions should be respected as important cat time that shouldn't be interrupted just because you want attention or think it's a good time to interact. Stop forcing your cat to interact with visitors or other pets when they clearly don't want to. When you have guests over and your cat is hiding or showing stress, don't pick them up and bring them out to socialize or encourage guests to seek your cat out. When you have multiple pets and one cat clearly wants space from another, don't force them to be in the same room together. This shows a fundamental lack of respect for your cat's boundaries and comfort levels. Your cat's feelings about social interaction are valid, and forcing them into situations that make them uncomfortable just because you want them to be social or think exposure will help them is actually counterproductive. It increases stress, damages trust, and can create negative associations with both the visitors and with you for forcing the interaction. Let your cat control their social experiences. If they want to investigate visitors from a distance or hide the whole time, that's their choice. If they need space from other pets in the household, provide that through separate areas or scheduled separation. Respecting these preferences actually helps your cat feel more secure overall, which can eventually lead to them being more confident and social when they choose to be. Comment down below if you've been guilty of any of these mistakes. Don't worry, most cat owners have done at least some of these without realizing the impact. Awareness is the first step to doing better for your cat. Never use your hands as toys during play sessions with your cat. This seems fun and harmless when cats are kittens, but you're teaching your cat that human hands are appropriate prey and play targets. This creates serious problems as your cat gets older and their play bites become harder and more frequent. When you encourage your cat to attack your hands during play, you're sending mixed messages. How is your cat supposed to know when hands are for gentle petting versus when they're toys to attack? They can't make that distinction, so they learn that hands are fair game, and then you get upset when they bite or scratch you seemingly out of nowhere. Always use actual toys for play. Wand toys, balls, stuffed mice, anything that isn't part of your body. If your cat tries to play attack your hands, immediately redirect them to an appropriate toy. This teaches clear boundaries about what's acceptable to attack and what isn't. And it protects your relationship from the frustration and pain that comes from a cat who's been trained to see hands as toys. Stop waking your cat up constantly for cuddles or attention. Cats sleep 12 to 16 hours per day, and this isn't laziness. It's a biological necessity for their health and well-being. When you constantly wake your cat up because you want to pet them, take photos, or just because you think they've slept enough, you're disrupting essential rest that your cat needs to function properly. Sleep is when your cat's body repairs itself, processes information, and maintains physical and mental health. Interrupted sleep leads to stress, behavioral issues, and even health problems over time. Your desire for interaction is not more important than your cat's need for uninterrupted rest. If your cat is sleeping and looks adorable, take your photo from a distance without waking them. If you want cuddles, wait until your cat wakes up naturally and approaches you. Respecting your cat's sleep schedule shows them that their needs matter, and that you're a source of stability and security rather than unpredictable disruption. Never punish your cat for natural behaviors like scratching, climbing, or hunting. These are hardwired instincts that your cat cannot suppress. When you punish your cat for scratching, even if it's your furniture they're scratching, you're not teaching them not to scratch. You're just creating stress and confusion because they have a biological need to scratch that they can't just turn off. The same goes for climbing on furniture, jumping to high places, hunting behaviors with toys or even bugs, and being active during dawn and dusk hours. These are all completely normal cat behaviors that your cat needs to express for their mental and physical health. Punishing these behaviors is like punishing your cat for breathing. It doesn't make sense to them and only damages your relationship. Instead of punishing natural behaviors, provide appropriate outlets for them. Give plenty of scratching posts in the right locations and textures. Create vertical climbing spaces your cat can use. Engage their hunting instincts through play, and accept that your cat will be most active at times that might not align with your schedule. Work with your cat's nature, not against it. Stop comparing your cat to other cats or expecting them to be like cats you've had before. Every cat is an individual with their own personality, preferences, and quirks. When you constantly compare your cat to other cats, wish they were more affectionate like your friend's cat, or expect them to behave like a previous cat you had, you're failing to appreciate and accept the unique individual you actually have. Your cat can sense when you're frustrated with their personality or disappointed that they're not different. This creates distance in your relationship because your cat doesn't feel accepted for who they are. Cats thrive when they feel their humans appreciate them as individuals rather than wishing they were something else. Every cat shows affection differently, plays differently, has different energy levels, and different preferences for interaction. When you embrace your specific cat's personality and celebrate what makes them unique, rather than comparing them to other cats, your relationship deepens, and your cat feels valued for exactly who they are. Never ignore signs that your cat is stressed, scared, or uncomfortable during interactions. When your cat's tail starts twitching, their ears go back, they start tensing up, or they show whale eye during petting or play, these are clear communication signals that they're reaching their limit. Ignoring these signals and continuing what you're doing teaches your cat that you don't listen to their communication. Many people see these subtle stress signals but think they're fine, or they'll get used to it and continue the interaction anyway. This is how cats end up biting or scratching seemingly out of nowhere. They tried polite communication first, and when that was ignored, they had to escalate to make themselves heard. Learning your cat's stress signals and immediately responding to them by stopping the interaction and giving space builds enormous trust. Your cat learns that you listen and respect their communication, which makes them more comfortable communicating with you because they know you'll actually pay attention. This creates a much safer and more trusting relationship overall. Stop assuming your cat wants to be petted just because they're near you or looking at you. Proximity doesn't equal permission. Many cats enjoy being near their humans without wanting physical touch. They might sit on the same couch, sleep in the same room, or follow you around just to be in your presence without wanting to be petted constantly. When you automatically reach out to pet every time your cat comes near, you're training your cat that being close to you means losing body autonomy. This actually makes some cats avoid being near you because they know you won't respect their desire for closeness without touch. This is really sad because your cat wants your company, but can't have it without unwanted touching. Let your cat set the pace for physical affection. If they want to be petted, they'll usually make it clear by rubbing against you, head-butting your hand, or clearly leaning into your touch. If they're just sitting near you without seeking touch, respect that they want companionship without physical interaction. This actually often leads to cats seeking more touch over time because they trust you'll respect their boundaries. Never change your cat's routine dramatically without gradual transition. Cats rely heavily on routine and predictability to feel secure. When you suddenly change feeding times, move furniture around drastically, change their litter box location, or alter any major element of their daily routine without preparation, you create stress and anxiety that can last for days or weeks. If you need to make changes, do them gradually whenever possible. Move the litter box a few feet every day rather than all at once. Introduce new furniture slowly. Gradually shift feeding times over several days rather than changing them suddenly. This allows your cat to adjust without the stress of dramatic overnight changes to their world. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel because we regularly share insights like these that help you understand what your cat needs and how to give them the best possible life. You don't want to miss future videos. Stop leaving your cat alone for extended periods without proper enrichment or stimulation. While cats are more independent than dogs, they still need mental stimulation, environmental enrichment, and some level of social interaction. When you leave your cat alone all day with nothing to do, nowhere interesting to look, and no interactive elements in their environment, you're leaving them to deal with boredom and understimulation that affects their mental health. Cats who are understimulated can develop behavioral problems, depression, or anxiety. They might become destructive, overly vocal, or show other signs of distress. This isn't your cat being bad. This is your cat struggling with an environment that doesn't meet their needs for engagement and stimulation. Before you leave for extended periods, make sure your cat has access to windows with interesting views, puzzle feeders or hidden treats, interactive toys, vertical spaces to explore, and ideally something new to investigate. Rotating toys regularly, leaving a TV or radio on for background stimulation, or even just opening blinds to provide window entertainment can make a huge difference in your cat's day. Finally, never take your cat's presence and companionship for granted. Cats show love and affection in subtle ways that are easy to miss if you're not paying attention. When your cat chooses to be in the same room as you, when they slow blink at you, when they bring you their toys, or when they expose their belly even if they don't want it touched. These are all signs of trust and affection that deserve acknowledgement. Taking these gestures for granted or not responding to your cat's attempts at connection gradually teaches your cat that their efforts at communication and bonding don't matter. This can lead to your cat becoming more distant or withdrawn because they feel their attempts at relationship building aren't valued or reciprocated. Show appreciation for your cat's unique ways of showing love. Acknowledge their slow blinks by blinking back. Thank them when they bring you toys. Appreciate when they choose to be near you. This reciprocal communication strengthens your bond and encourages your cat to continue reaching out to connect with you. All of these behaviors might seem small or harmless individually, but they add up to create an environment where your cat either feels respected, secure, and loved, or feels anxious, misunderstood, and undervalued. The difference between a cat who deeply trusts and bonds with their human versus a cat who merely tolerates their human often comes down to these everyday interactions and whether the human is paying attention to their cat's needs and communication. Your cat can't tell you in words when something you're doing hurts their feelings or makes them uncomfortable. They communicate through body language and behavior changes that require you to pay attention and actually listen. When you make the effort to understand your cat's perspective and adjust your behavior to respect their needs, you create a relationship built on mutual respect and genuine trust. If you love your cat, stop doing these things that hurt them even though you don't mean to. Start paying attention to your cat's signals, respect their boundaries, accept their personality, and create an environment where they feel safe, valued, and truly loved. Your cat will respond by becoming more confident, more affectionate, and more bonded with you, and that's what every cat owner wants. If you found this helpful and realized you need to make some changes, make sure you're subscribed for more cat behavior insights, and definitely check out this next video where we share even more ways to strengthen your bond with your cat.